Let's talk about your phone. We're not just going to scratch the surface of phone addiction. No. We're going to tear back the curtain and show you how it was all designed from the ground up to hook you. And the best part, I'm going to give you a real step-by-step plan to get your life back. Look at this number, 387. What is that? That's how many times one college student checked her phone in a single day. And by the end of the week, get this, she'd spent 56 hours on social media. That's more than a full-time job. So what happened when she tried to quit Instagram? Well, scientists hooked her up to a brain scanner, and what they saw was terrifying. Her brain looked exactly like a cocaine addict going through withdrawal. I'm talking shaking, sweating, real physical pain. This isn't some metaphor, folks. This is a cold, hard, neurological reality. Now, her story, it might sound extreme, right? But here's the thing. The very same forces that hooked her are aimed directly at you every single second of the day. So the big question is, how did this happen to you? How are they doing it? Okay, so to really get how your brain got hijacked, we need to look under the hood. We've got to understand what's actually happening inside your skull every time you get a notification. And believe it or not, it all boils down to one incredibly powerful psychological trick. It's called variable rewards, and it is the secret sauce, the engine behind every single slot machine in Las Vegas. Think about it. You pull the lever. You don't know if you're going to win big or get nothing. It's that unpredictability that creates this powerful craving, this need to pull it just one more time. Well, guess what? Social media apps were built from the ground up to do the exact same thing to your brain. Every unpredictable buzz from a notification, that's you hitting the jackpot. And you have to understand, this isn't an accident. None of this is random. Things like those delayed notifications you get, or those disappearing messages, or that infinite scroll that just never ever ends, it's all a feature. Every single piece is deliberately engineered to crank up that addictive uncertainty and keep you pulling that digital lever over and over and over again. So here's what you absolutely have to get. If you find yourself unable to look away, it doesn't mean you're weak. It means you are being expertly, skillfully manipulated. You're the target of a business model that only makes money when it captures and holds on to your attention. And boy, is it working. The average person, you, me, all of us, now checks their phone 96 times a day. Not that sink in. That's once every 10 minutes that you're awake. It means you're tapping, swiping, and touching your phone more than 2,600 times a day. It's insane. All right, so that's the how. We see the trap. But now let's talk about the real damage. What is all of this actually doing to your mind and your body? What's the real cost?
The very first thing to go, your attention span. Look at this. Back in the year 2000, the average human could focus for about 12 seconds. Today, it's collapsed to just 8 seconds. You know what has a 9-second attention span? A goldfish. I'm not kidding. We now officially have a shorter attention span than a goldfish.
And trust me, this goes way, way beyond just your attention. Your memory starts to fail because you're so busy documenting your life instead of actually living it. The blue light from the screen, it's absolutely destroying your sleep. Study after study links heavy social media use to skyrocketing rates of anxiety and depression. And maybe the scariest part of all, MRI scans are showing that it's physically changing your brain, shrinking the part that helps you control your impulses. So you might be wondering, where's the line? How do you know if you've gone from just having a bad habit to having a full-blown addiction? Well, let's do a little self-diagnosis right now. Be honest with yourself. Let's go through the signs. Do you reach for your phone within the first 5 minutes of waking up? Yep. Do you ever feel those phantom vibrations thinking your phone buzzed when it didn't? How about that little jolt of panic when your battery drops below 20%? Have you tried to cut back before and, well, failed? Do you find yourself scrolling instead of being in the moment, in a real experience? And what about getting angry, like genuinely angry when someone interrupts you while you're scrolling? Listen, these aren't just funny quirks. These are the textbook signs of addiction. Okay, if that last slide hit a little too close to home, don't panic. The key thing to remember is that you can't fight an army of Silicon Valley engineers with just willpower. It's not a fair fight. You need a system. So here it is, a proven 7-day escape plan to reclaim your brain. So here's the whole system laid out. It's a really logical progression. First, you have to get real with yourself. That's the awareness phase. Then you purge the worst offenders. After that, you build barriers to stop that muscle memory, that autopilot. Then, and this is key, you replace the bad habit with something good. You announce your boundaries. And finally, you adopt a whole new identity. Day 3 is where the real fight begins. This is where we break that autopilot. So, problem number 1, you tap on apps without even thinking. The solution? A completely blank home screen. Move everything into folders on the second page. Problem 2, your brain gets a dopamine hit from all those bright, flashy colors. The solution? Switch to grayscale mode. It makes your phone instantly boring. And problem 3, the constant, never-ending interruptions. The solution? Turn off all notifications. Yes, all of them, except for actual phone calls and maybe texts from your favorites. Now, this next part, this might just be the most powerful psychological hack of the whole plan. See, when you say, I'm trying to quit social media, you're basically programming yourself for failure. You're saying it's a struggle. But when you shift your identity, when you just say, I don't use social media, well, it becomes a simple fact. It's just who you are now. The decision's already made. End of story. So what happens if you actually do this? If you push through the hard part, what does your life look like on the other side? I'll tell you. It's a total transformation. Okay, let's be real. Week 1 is gonna suck. You're gonna feel anxious, bored, you're gonna be in withdrawal. You just have to push through it. Because by week 2, something amazing happens. You start to feel this clarity, a mental quiet you forgot was even possible. Then, in week 3, it's like time expands. You'll suddenly have 2, 3, even 4 extra hours every single day. And by week 4, other people, they're gonna start to notice. They'll tell you seem happier, more present. Hey, remember that student from the beginning of the story? Well, 6 months after she quit for good, she had taken back those 56 hours a week. And what did she do with all that time? She started a side business, she lost 15 pounds. She reconnected with her family, got a promotion at her job, and even started dating someone new. She completely changed her life. But of all those things, it's this quote from her that really hits home. She said she realized she wasn't just addicted, she was lonely. She thought she had 1,000 friends online, but it turned out she had 0. Now she says she has 5 real ones, and that, she says, is everything. She traded 1,000 illusions for 5 real connections. Even right now, as you're listening to this, there's probably a little voice in your head, a little itch telling you to check your phone. Just a quick peek. That's the addiction talking. That's not you. And you have a choice to make. Right here, right now. You can listen to that voice, or you can decide that today is the day you take the first step. Because really, it all comes down to this question. Fast forward 10 years from now, what are you going to remember? The 3,000 hours you gave away to an algorithm that doesn't know you exist? Or are you going to remember the life you could have built in that time? The business you started, the language you learned, the relationships you deepened, the life you actually lived. Look, the person you're meant to be is waiting for you on the other side of that delete button. There's only one way to meet them.